Wreckless Eric in session here on Riley & Co on Six Music with Drag Time and another 2 numbers on the way. The new album then takes us from written and conceived in your base in New York State in North America and during COVID times, but focusing on seaside towns here in England in particular.
Yeah, sort of some of it. Like, I had only 2 things that really that went through my head about it all. I didn't want to sort of write a record about COVID and about the state of things because, like, you know, everyone that I knew and everyone that would be interested already knew about the state of things, and you know, so I hate preaching to the choir. And I also felt that my last couple of records have been increasingly about America, and I think I was feeling a bit homesick in some weird, you know, writing kind of way. And also there was something else I was thinking, but I can't remember what it was now.
And this harks back to New Haven, to where you grew up in particular, yeah?
Yeah, it's a thing. I think you'll come back to it, you know, if you write a lot of songs, make a lot of records, you always come back to the question of who you are, where you come from, and how did you get to where you are now. And I've just finished engineering a record for my wife, Amy Rigby, and her dad died last year. So her whole record is like, you know, like the mortality, really. It's big in there, you know, and it's interesting to see it in someone else that writes songs, you know.
And when it came to putting together the record as well, you found a local drummer, which was very handy.
It's great. Like, I met him, he was working in the local coffee shop. He said, yeah, I play the drums and stuff. I go, oh, yeah. Then I found out he lived round the corner. I thought, he seems great. He seems like, but I'd never heard him play. I just got him round to play on something. I thought, well, we'll see. You know. And he just looked at the kit and he took most of it away. To start with, he said, you don't mind if I edit it down? And like I said, no. He's like the Fender Telecaster of drummers. He's this, you know, he does it all with hardly anything.
If he'd have been rubbish, how would you have broken it to him? Would you just sort of quietly ask him to leave?
Oh, no, I would have gone through it and then got someone else in.
So is there another coffee shop you could have used, though? That's crucially, you know,
I know what you mean. I could have just gone on tour for 3 months and, like, he would have been replaced anyway.
So you're talking about it being influenced by America, obviously, and having moved there and coming out the other side of it. I mean, obviously, when you go over somewhere like that, and live and get steeped in the culture and get to know people living there,
yeah.
did that really kind of inform those records? You know, was it kind of like exciting for you and fueled you?
I still feel, I feel like in some ways that I play and on records, I'm a lot more American. I have an American approach, and it's a strange. It did me good. There's a kind of thing like, you know, an English band, they're like a rat out of a trap, you know, because they've got 40 minutes and they're going to change the world. An American band has to play, or traditionally they would have to play for 3 hours in, you know, 4 different sets or something, and so they kind of settle into it. And I've seen this with so many American musicians where you think, I remember seeing Levon Helm, and I was quite a long way back and this band came on. I wasn't sure if it was his band, and it was like, I thought, no, this can't be them because that drummer's not really very good. And then they played another song and I was going, well, it could be, but it looks like he's got blonde hair and Levon's grey. So, and like by the third song, there was no doubt that it was Levon Helm. And he was fantastic, but he didn't come in all guns blazing. He kind of warmed up to it somehow, you know.
And is that your routine now then?
No, not really. I mean, well, sort of a bit. I never got off on that running on stage kind of thing, you know.
It is funny what you're saying about being influenced by America, because you seem, it's a phrase that people use, quintessentially English.
I'm quintessentially English, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to be anything else. Like, you know, women fall in love with you at the local hardware shop, you know. Like the woman at the paint counter goes, "Oh, honey, I could listen to you all day." You know, I mean, it's there's this English girl that I've got to get. I knew I'd get around to this, right? There's this English girl that I know, and I'm offended. You know, she's like being English, and I'm thinking, butt out. That's my gig round here. I'm the English person, but she's like, 20 years old. Yeah. And like, I did later with Jules Holland the other day, and it's coming out, and I had to get that in.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We were going to get it in if you didn't.
Oh, right, you were. Yeah. You've heard nothing. I mean, you're not good enough for me anymore, But I was walking down the corridor there, and I bumped into this English girl. She says, "Eric, what are you doing here?" And she only knows me from like the coffee place, and I said, "Well, in another life, I've got this gig going."
And what was she doing there?
She was the coordinator for the National. Oh. She used to be a tour manager, but I said, "So are you tour managing someone?" And she goes, "No, I'm the coordinator for the National."
That's a new one on me.
It's good to have a coordinator, isn't it?
Well, I think so. It's where, this is why you're where you are now.
Yeah.
No coordination.
Right. Terrible.
You see? Yeah.
Thanks for the advice.
This is what's gone wrong. It's what's gone wrong with me. I'm going to coordinate from now on.
Well, you've coordinated yourself onto later, as you just mentioned. Well, that was a thrill for you. I can tell, because you're not being at all like, "Oh yeah, I was on later." Yeah.
No. I'm absolutely, like that. Everyone pretends they're not, but I mean, everyone's scared to death, and you're all facing each other, and you're looking at them, thinking they think they're so cool, and here I am. Not really cool. I'll just face them down, and they're standing there looking at you going, "He thinks he's so cool." And everyone's just scared to death, because they call it imposter syndrome now.
Yeah, you just don't think you're good enough to be where you are.
I call it being, bowled out, really.
Right.
Now, you're going to play another couple of numbers for us. I should point out there's no cough on this record, and some people know what I'm talking about, hopefully, but there is a sniff, and I have heard the sniff, but I'm not going to say where it is, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody else.
I'm not going to do it live.
Well, I'm not saying it's not necessarily in these songs anyway, is it?
No, but unless I do it by accident or
that's fair enough.
I forget the words. Right, I've forgotten what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Go ahead.
Right.